What is so top secret? Naughty stuff that I probably shouldn't be showing off writing on Twitch because of TOS. But I adjusted it slightly so that you can actually see the total number of words in the project to confirm that yes, I am indeed writing. Hello, Neffy. Boobs, vaginis, and peenies. Yeah, yep. And they're all slamming into each other in a sticky fashion. Almost to the next marker time thing, the split. Yeah. And given what I wrote, because I'm typing it, I'm copying over what I wrote yesterday on the laptop. So, should definitely be able to get through at least one, maybe two splits based off that alone. How you be? Got some chores done this morning. Showered and started playing Forager. What chores were left after yesterday? Aside from like the ones that I do. They stopped the food stamps. Oh. Oh, good. Oh, the box of trash, right. Redid the cold brew. Ah, okay. Nice. Watered the plants. They do be thirsty. and took a shower. All good things. Got the mail, they sent a letter saying that you make too much money and cut you off. Oh, fun. Yay. November. It'll be alright. Alright. It's just another thing. Just be a very ramen noodles and simple meals type thing. Yeah. Gotten by on less and been fine. Yeah. There's a movement to have Miley Cyrus cover Metallica. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, probably. The Avril Lavigne cover of Fuel was very not good. Yes, hello. Yes, secrets indeed. Secrets that aren't allowed to be shown on Twitch. How you doing? On the phone for an hour and a half after you helped them? You're talking about everything? Oh, dang. That's a lot of stuff to talk about. That's like almost all the things you could talk about. You wanna go home? What? No, you don't, because home is where the work is. It's a trap. Thoughts on copyrights? Oh, also, well, first of all, hey Chaotica, how you doing? It's good to see you. Um, shit, man. That's a big topic. That's a big topic for my brain fried brain. Like, from the topic of another stream, was curious over here. Okay, give me some guidance. Cause copy, like that's such a broad spectrum in my head that I don't even know where to start. Like I know like copyrights for creatives in general. I mean, I support it. Is the simple like one word answer. Like I want my stuff protected. I don't want anyone just stealing it and using it for their own purposes or making money off of it. Um so yeah. It has gotten infinitely more complicated with the internet being the way it is. Um, and people trying to figure out how to apply it. Yeah, the internet is just yeah, no. 100%. The internet in and of itself is just complicated. It's a beautiful thing and yet a horrible thing all at once. And it's everything in between those two extremes. Which is complicated. Um but yeah, stuff like all the DMCA stuff that's happening on Twitch and like the copyright like it has been incredibly obvious that someone needs to figure out like a good way of dealing with copyright as it pertains to the weird complicated animal that is the internet. It's been obvious for a long time because it's not even like look at YouTube. YouTube's been dealing with like DMCA stuff and copyright claim stuff for a long time now. And personally speaking, my feeling at first was okay, it's kind of cool. Like say I want to make a video and put it on YouTube and I want to use a piece of music that I don't have the rights to because I'm some nobody and I can't afford the licensing rights to use it, but I still want to and I want to share it with the world. And then, like, I upload it to YouTube, the music gets copyright ID'd, and then as a result, they put ads on the video to support the claimant. I was actually fine with that. I was like, that's a cool, like, kind of meeting people halfway thing where it's like, hey, yeah, you can use this stuff, but you can't monetize it because you're using stuff that you don't own, so you don't have the right to make money off of it. But the people that do have a right to make money off of it are going to make money off of it based on your usage of it. I was like, that's fine, generally speaking, but now you've got people, companies really, that are just making fraudulent claims and have been for a long time. And that's not right. But YouTube lets them get away with it. Because there's no, from what I understand, there's no, like, if somebody makes a claim on a video on YouTube, they don't have the burden of proof to prove that they have the right to make the claim. The person whose video it is has to prove that they're not in copyright violation of something, which is fun. And even if they do prove that, from what I understand, or at least how it used to be, how I understand it when I was really kind of blowing up, was that the person making the fraudulent claim, nothing happens to them. They're not punished in any way for doing it. So why wouldn't they just keep doing it? Generally fair system, you think. Too many predators. Yeah. And also, apparently at this point, like, around the time that the Twitch DMCA plague started, like, Facebook Gaming made a deal with the recording industry to avoid this sort of shit. Mixcloud, I believe, made a similar deal to avoid this shit, so, like, DJ streamers could stream their DJ sets and not get DMCA'd for it. So, like, there are apparently other solutions. Twitch is just not engaging in them. Yeah, they've been ignoring it. Yeah, and that was the other thing. Like, when I came over to Twitch, it was like, the process was, yeah, you can play whatever music you want, and if it gets like copyright ID'd, they'll just mute the VOD where that music was. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fair. But apparently that wasn't just like a way of avoiding. Well, it was a way of avoiding it. They were just like trying to scrub the evidence away so they didn't get dinged for it. And that hasn't worked. Yeah, it's a band-aid. But I mean, and it really always it tends to always come back around to music, to a lesser extent, like people showing movies and TV shows, like streaming that when they're not supposed to. But most of the time, like the ones you hear about and the really like litigious side of it is, it's always music. And it's like, yeah, I kind of get it, because like, it's gotten to a point where, like, yeah, pretty much anything can be pirated, and it's been that way for a while. But like, music was like the first thing that I remember like getting heavy pirated on the internet. And then on top of that, the whole Metallica Napster thing, which again, like, made Metallica very unpopular at the time, and still to this day. I'm on Metallica's side. Like, people were stealing their stuff. Did they handle it the best way they could have? No, but it was the first time anything like that had really made that big a wave. And at the very, like, just brass tacks, very general, simplistic way of looking at it, they found out people were stealing their stuff, and not even just like old stuff, but like stuff they hadn't even officially released yet. People were stealing that and sharing it all over the internet. I'd be pissed too. And if I had the resources they have, I'd be like, yeah, I'm suing everybody. Like, that would be the knee-jerk, like, wrathful reaction that I would have to. And again, just strictly from a legal standpoint, yeah, they were right. Yeah, people were stealing their shit, and that's not okay. Like, oh, but they're so big and they have so much more. It doesn't matter, because if you let it slide on like the bigger names like that, then that's gonna just trickle down to like someone like me, who makes hardly anything off of the books that I publish, and could really use the extra sales. Like, suddenly it's okay for people to steal that shit from me too and just share it around. Super appreciate the Amazon Prime link so you can just do watch streams. Super. Oh yeah, the watch party? Yeah, no, I love the watch party thing. There are some like gripes I have with it, like, but it's gripes that it's like, yeah, that sucks, but I understand it. Like, you have to have Amazon Prime to be able to tune in, which, duh, that makes sense. it's still annoying, but it makes sense. Or the regional availability on a lot of the stuff on there. Because, like, Dizzy is in Canada. A lot of the stuff we watch on Mondays, he can't see because it's not available in Canada. That sucks. But again, I get it because, like, the usage rights are all sorts of weird with shit like that. It'd be nice if they weren't, but, like, again, it's like, I get it. But generally as a whole, like, yeah, I love the idea of what the watch parties are. And, like, being able to, like, on a personal level, being able to, like, take that tool and then attempt to turn it into basically kind of like, my hope being like something like an Elvira show or a Paul Bearer type show or like a Joe Bob Briggs type show. And also MST3K, because I do typically talk through the movies as well. But yeah, something like being able to do something like that without having to resort to keeping it on the down low or only using public domain films and just having the huge catalog that is available on Amazon Prime to choose from. Like, that's really cool. Like, that's something that you could do it, but you wouldn't be able to do it, like, to the same level without fear of, like, somebody, like, again, a rights holder being like, you're not supposed to be showing that movie. Like, you can't stream that. What the hell are you doing? But yeah, it's a complicated, and then it's even more complicated because, like, there's the whole fair use policy, which I feel like a lot of people on the internet just don't understand. Like, they've redefined what fair use is to apply to however they want to use something, and then claim that no, it's not copyright infringement, it's fair use because of this reason. And it's like, that's not how fair use works at all. It's like, oh, it's fair use because I only used like 2 seconds of it. No. No, that's the amount of time doesn't factor into it. It's not like you can use anything you want to, but only 3 seconds and be fine. No, it doesn't say anything like that in there. Yeah, they don't understand. And, like, there's some degree of complication to it because it's a lot of legal stuff. And I swear to fuck, like, fuck, like, I think we were talking about it the other day. Like, fuck making teenagers learn algebra in high school. Teach them like a crash course beginners, like, course on legalese. Because that's going to be way more helpful in day-to-day life. So that maybe you don't have the same understanding as, like, a lawyer who's gone to a full school to learn that shit, but you at least, when you're looking at something like a contract or something written in legalese, you at least have a baseline frame of reference where you're like, okay, I understand this to a point. And I'm not just, like, looking at a foreign language that I do not understand. Because in a way, like, from what I've seen of legalese, like, it's intentionally hard to understand. Banking and budgeting, copyrights, workstudy for a few months in retail. That would be, I hadn't thought of that one, but that'd actually be a decent one. Yeah, banking and budgeting, doing your taxes. Why aren't we taught how to do taxes in high school? Like, maybe some high schools are, but generally speaking, like, if you're taking, if there's should be a mandatory math class in high school, it should be, here's how you do your taxes. That's, yeah, in the first part. Insurance, yeah. Like, like, I still don't understand insurance fully. Like, those are the easy ones that I think everyone could get behind, as far as like what you should be taught in high school. My other thoughts on what should be taught in high school are a little more divisive. Intrinsic prize of just in case this happens, you don't want to pay out of my pocket to fix it unless they transfer the cost of my wrist. Yeah. Well, I know generally how it works, but the nitty gritty details of it and everything like that, I don't know. Figure out what it is. Like, this is so easy. Why wasn't this information given to me earlier? I could have made better life choices. Yeah, that seems fair. Yeah, generally speaking, copyright, I'm in favor of it, but it's a complicated mess that needs adjustment for the internet age. That is long overdue. Yeah, just like everything else, pretty much. Like, it's been weird because like I'm not old enough that like I was there at like the start of the internet or anything, but I remember when it was a much simpler place. And it's been interesting kind of seeing the internet evolve over the years from like kind of almost like a generalized, like very simple, almost childlike level to where we're at now, which is kind of like the rebellious teenage years. Especially with like the proliferation of so much social media shit, like it's definitely we're definitely in the high school years of the internet right now. Will ask, hello. It do be type. How you doing? I think one of your MA essays to submit for your PhD. Nice. Your eyes bleed? Oh, I feel you. Sadrina, hello. How are you doing? I ain't even working on technical writing for no PhD. And my eyes ain't bleeding, but my brain might be. Okie dokie. Nice. Fighting the man for the last few minutes of work? Hell yeah. They bleed because you've been editing for 5 days, and they also bleed because holy shit, it hurts to read old work. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I know that feel. The man needs to concede the last few minutes of work. They belong to the worker. Yeah, those are very important minutes where the only work that can be done is staring intently at the clock, waiting for those minutes to expire. That's the only thing you can do in those last few minutes. Like, I think legally speaking, that's the only work that can be done. Rise up, seize the means of production, and toss them out so you spend the first hour of tomorrow's work putting everything back in place. Yes! And get no work done. Yes. That is a plan. I don't know if it's a good plan, but it is a plan. You could hide your Word document with a big giant top secret and flail randomly at your keyboard for that to count as work too. You need to find a way to create this setup via Zoom. You just save an image of a black bar, and then you overlay text. It's really that easy. No, the necessity of the top secret thing, at least for today, is the stuff I'm working on is not technically Twitch TOS appropriate, but I still wanted to get stuff done, so this is kind of like the workaround for it. I left the word count up there, so, or I made the total word count visible, so something can be seen that, like, I'm writing something. You just don't see the words. Yeah, really. Or at the very least, like, I don't know. Like, it is a mature stream, but, like, that even that has its limits. I'm just, yeah. Twitch can be a prude. So, like, the parn, yeah. And it's not full on that, but it's close enough to that I'm just erring on the side of caution. Because, like, the whole crazy notion of speedrunning a Nano novel, I'm enjoying it as like a fun gimmick type thing, but at the same time, I don't want this fun little gimmick to lead to my channel getting banned or anything. Tentacles involved? Not currently. There's always tentacles. Yeah, the tentacles they're not active right now, but we will eventually get to them. But honestly, like, given that this was just some lunatic, dumbass idea that I had, like, last month as to how to do Nano this year, it's actually been really cool. This has pulled in a lot of new faces, which I was not expecting, but I'm very appreciative of. Kind of similarly, the when I implemented, like, the watch parties being, like, a consistent thing in the schedule, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go because of the restrictions that are inherent in it, and it's actually been really nice. It wasn't like doing a bunch of crazy shit to my channel that I want to do, but wasn't in line with what I was doing previously. Like, there was that fear of, like, well, if you change all this shit just rapidly, like that, the number of people that tune in are gonna diminish, and you're gonna lose followers. And it's not been the case. It's been the opposite, which is very cool. Get people till you started writing, you didn't find people to watch, so you discovered there was a writing tag. Yeah. Wait, is there a writing tag? I'm on the category of let's do the writing. Is there actually a writing tag? There is a writing. Oh shit, I did not know that existed. Okay, well, update. There's an actual tag, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. I honestly didn't even think to look. Focus on the writing, though. They don't waste time on chat. Yeah. I try, like... Again, it's that weird kind of, like, I've done some writing streams before. A little bit, 20 days too late, yep. But not that much, because I've just not known how to actually implement it, and I didn't think there would be much of an audience there. But that's kind of the struggle of doing it, because first and foremost, like, I'm doing it this way, streaming it and whatnot, and doing the timer, because this is like my 9th year, and I'm like, I want to do something a little different and fun and a little bit more of a challenge. So fuck it, let me do this. But at the end of the day, like, my goal is to finish Nano. So, and that's why I finally caved yesterday and just did some off-camera writing and then retyped it into the file today. Because I'm like, gimmick or not, like, if the gimmick gets in the way of getting to the end of Nano and getting done with this project, the gimmick's getting dumped. As fun as it is, the gimmick is getting dumped because my primary goal this month is getting this thing fucking done, or at least to 50,000 words. So it's been an interesting struggle juggling that. Because conversely, like, the other side of that thought was, my typical streams, I do my best to be as engaging with chat as possible, or even if chat isn't active, I try to be as engaging and entertaining as possible. It's a little bit harder if I'm focusing on just writing. There's a lot more stretches of silence and typing, which I'm like, is that entertaining? And especially right now when it's like, you don't even get to see what I'm writing. Like, is that going to be entertaining? Like, are people even gonna, like, are people gonna tune in and be like, well, this is boring as fuck, and immediately tune out? Because that's kind of my mentality with streaming. I'm putting on a show, I'm trying to entertain. So if I'm not being entertaining, then why am I doing the stream? Some are really interactive, some are like, you like writing what? Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I definitely have moments like when chat starts bumping, I kind of stop writing for a bit, which that's just inherent. Like, I expected that while streaming, like, there'd be gaps in writing productivity, which is fine. Used to be a big-ish writing streamer, around 10, 20 viewers that wrote stories based on viewer requests and prompts. He hasn't streamed in 2 years. Oh no, that would be fun. And I occasionally, like, I'll like, if it comes up, or if I see a means of doing it, I will ask chat for suggestions or something like that. It's a little different with something like this where I'm working on, or I originally was working on something that was already pre-established and adapting it. So it's like, yeah. You're working right now, so typing ASMR? Yeah, and that's another element that I just didn't even consider, that, like, people just like the sound of silence and typing. Like, it's kind of a comforting sound to some people, which I understand, because I also feel that way. Get Brexit done even if it gets us to hell. Yeah, sure, why not? More of a writing working retreats where seeing someone work is enough to motivate you and make you focus. I mean, that would also be cool. Like, yeah, if me sitting here just plugging away at words and staying focused on it encourages or inspires other people to do the same with their projects, that's an absolute win. Worked exactly 0 times. Oops. But yeah, and that's why, like, if I talk about stuff like that I've accomplished or anything like that in regards to the writing stuff, like, I don't mean it to be braggadocious, even though it might inherently be so. It's more, if I want anything to come from that, it's more to inspire other people who might be struggling with it to be like, okay, you can do it. Like, if I manage to get it done, like, you can too. And if not, that's also okay. So you and your MA cohort did to keep yourselves sane during dissertation season while the world was burning outside? Yeah. That and like I find that there's, at least personally, there can be a decent motivation factor in not like strict competition, but like some low level competitiveness, like unserious competitiveness, where it's like somebody, if somebody like if I see somebody else that they're like such and such number of words ahead of me, it's like, okay, they've gotten there, I need to catch up. Like it sets kind of a pace, and then motivates me to be like, all right, I need to get more words out. So then I'll slam through more words. Disso delenda est? What is that? Typa? Ah. Well, it is just about 5. I'd like to get more writing done today, but I do gotta go feed the cats real quick. A squid with wings! They need to make a horror movie. They do. One point in Rome's history, during the destructive war with Carthage, they ended every speech in the Senate with the refrain Carthago delenda est, Carthage must be destroyed. Oh, damn. They deleted the city off the map and salted the earth so it never grows back. Holy shit. Rome? Damn, Rome, you scary. Because Hannibal kept ruining their shit. Roman history is so fucking fun. It's like fiction. Actual fiction, only it's like for real. Yeah, there's some crazy ass shit. There's some crazy ass shit just in history, full stop. Hilarious to see them struggling to keep everything under control. Yeah. Do Xmas lights? Right on, Sadrina. Enjoy. Thanks for popping in. Okay, if I want to do this later than I usually do, you can bring me dinner when you make it. We'll see. The last couple stream days have been less productive than I would have liked, and I'd like to see how much I can get done today. Or at the very least, it'd be nice to get through this chapter, because then I can take the damn top secret thing off. Because this is the only real chapter where I think it's going to be super relevant. Last 20 years have been less productive than you would have liked. Velasque, why you gotta call me out like that? You just got here. And you're putting out harsh accusations that are totally accurate like that? Decided not to continue streaming. It do be Nano. Yeah. It's definitely, yeah, this has definitely been one of the tougher nanos I've done. Because I think this is the first year that I've not only fully cleared the slate to fully just focus on Nano, I've actively added layers to it. Like this year, it's like, okay, I'm still doing day job stuff. I'm not putting that on pause for the month. I'm still doing streaming stuff, like regular streaming stuff. I'm also streaming Nano. And then on top of just like social obligation stuff, which I've tried to keep as consistent as possible and in line with the usual schedule. On top of other stuff that has cropped up, like broken TVs. So yeah, this one is definitely hitting a little harder. You hit 30 and you're like, who cares? Yeah, but Velasquez, I'm 35. I think I'm midway through that 20s feel and the Lamau who cares feel. I've definitely got a lot more of the Lamau who cares feel. You hit 40 and you're like, oh fuck. Oh, maybe I'm midway between, because yeah, midway between 30 and 40, so I'm already phasing out of the who cares side of things. and slipping back into the oh fuck I care thing. God damn it. I barely got to appreciate that. It was nice hitting kind of a weird, not wall, but like stage where suddenly I was like, this isn't my problem, and that's okay. Like I'm actually genuinely okay with like not knowing answers to things and just not really concerning myself with other people's problems. And I'm not. No, I just had the pizza rolls like right before I went live. So yeah, I can wait. 6:30 is fine. Had your midlife crisis at 25. You're golden. It's all meaningless here to be entertained. Yeah, I've tried to maintain that George Carlin philosophy of like fuck all of this, none of it matters. I'm just here to be entertained. But there are definitely times where it's easier to maintain that philosophy than others. So I have a more comfortable approach to death again, which is nice. Yeah, more Eastern approach to it, if you will, as opposed to the doom and gloom that America brings to the table. Yeah, for sure. Less about acceptance, more about weird fixation, fascination. Yeah. How to remain alive as long as possible. Thanks, Shakespeare. Most famous speech in English is a guy talking about suicide. Thanks, Willie. Pet care to hospice. Yeah, prolonging and preserving life as much as possible. Yeah. Which, generally speaking, I'm not 100% opposed to. But yeah, it's got to be paired with that quality. The quality is very important to that. But like, yeah, no. If I if there's option of yes, you can download your consciousness into a robot body and just stick around for as long as you like, doing everything you can now and more. Sign me the fuck up. I got shit to do. I want to. At that point, it's like, yeah, send me to space, motherfuckers. I'll go colonize Pluto. But yeah, if there's nothing left of the brain there and there's like no chance, no thank you. Focus on quality rather than duration of life or in Western. Oh, right. No, yeah. No, I think that's what she was saying. Wait, maybe not. Hold on. I don't. My brain is fried. I'm. It's November, man. My brain is too fried for these deep level conversations. You guys sort it out yourself. Just met the wrong people? Maybe. Or rather, I think the far more Western um approach to like we have to keep you alive at all costs, even if all you can do is drool, we're going to keep you alive. I feel like that's a lot more Western. But I don't know. I'm gonna revert back to what I was talking about earlier. I don't fucking know, and you know what? It's not my fucking problem, so I don't care. Yeah. And stuff like that here as well in Saudi Arabia. Ah, okay. More often? Oh, damn. Fair enough. Because of the culture in America, everyone's fairly egocentric and not in the best way. Yeah, I think that's just like very easy to agree with. Being in Florida too long. Let's focus on the freedom to live life at the quality you want. More focus on living it the right way. Oh yeah, yeah. What is it? There's like The Kantian ethics. That's kind of that mentality, like do your duty and enjoy it. Not the basis of Kantian ethics. The only things I really remember about it is like I think that and apparently Stephen Hawking once turned his attention to it and came away with the opinion that it was all indecipherable nonsense. Arguably one of the smartest men who's ever lived looked at Kantian ethics and was like, I don't fucking understand this shit at all. Society exists because of behavior that prolongs society. Oh, okay. Like what? Yeah. Yeah, that's some cyclical logic nonsense. You're right, like we didn't cover it that in depth, but the little bit I got from it, I was like, okay, this seems simultaneously kind of easy to understand, and yet at the same time, what the fuck? Like utilitarian ethics, like okay, yeah, I grasp that. That's pretty simple. Virtue ethics, I grasp that. That's very simple. Kantian ethics, it's like what the fuck? Why? Welcome back, fish. We talking ethical theories now, apparently. It's probably one of the most like I didn't expect it to be as fun and interesting as it wound up being, but it was probably like one of my favorite classes that I took in college. Don't lie ever, but you're pretty sure society can't exist without lie. Yeah, yeah. It's very odd. Sometimes they're good. Yeah, well, it's that mentality of like any lie, like that very black and white mentality of any lie, regardless of what it is or what purpose it serves, is bad. Which, in essence, is what a lot of parents teach their kids, because parents are implicitly fucking hypocrites. Don't ever lie, or else Santa won't bring you presents this year. Try and do the mental gymnastics as a parent where saying something like that to your child makes any fucking sense whatsoever. That's why you cannot have a child, yeah. Define harm. Can you control someone's behavior if you think it will harm someone according to your definition? Yeah, like, dude, you fall down ethical rabbit holes, like, it is fucked. Because, again, like, it's kind of like, in general, like, the Kant being like, oh, that's simple, and yet, what? Where it's like, generally speaking, it's very easy to define like, okay, this is right and this is wrong, and then you get into the minutia of details and specific circumstances, and you're like, well, in the Jewish religion, eating pork is harm. Yeah, doesn't happen. It's just a chemical reaction in your brain. Isn't every sensation just that, including pain and sadness? Emotional pain. Yeah. And probably to some extent physical pain, but physical pain at least like it has like a causation and a source. Like, there's far more just, like, survival type things associated with physical pain, I think. Just one that loves getting shot by bullets. Well, I mean, and even then, well, you don't even have to bring space aliens into this. Like, let me just present this to you. Is striking someone with a stick until they're bleeding wrong? And in that description, like, you'd likely say, yeah, no, you shouldn't hit people with sticks until they're bleeding. That's incredibly wrong. But what if the actual situation is the person is a sexual masochist, and that's how they get off? They enjoy being struck with the stick until they bleed. That brings them pain, but it also is directly related to their pleasure and their happiness. Is it still wrong? That's not what I'm currently writing, no. All pain is but an emotion, it can be controlled. See, but like... No, not exactly. You can manage, like, physical pain, like, is different. At the core of it, like, yeah, you're learning how to manage your own pain and whatnot, physical or emotional, I think is an important skill to develop, but... When doing others, we would have them doing to you. Yeah! So by that logic, because you like getting smacked with a stick until your ass bleeds, you should be doing this to as many other people as you possibly can at all times because you really want it done to you. Which, no, you should not. Unless they also want it. Such high pain tolerance, because if you showed that you were in pain, your dad would... Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of fucked. You cannot control your emotional pain, proven by random crying about your emotional pain, yeah. But at the same time, like, who's to say that random crying isn't how you handle or can control your emotional pain? Because there's something to be said about the cathartic release of expressing that emotion to purge it. World code based on biology, not based on any laws in the universe. He kind of broke in half for like a day. You don't control the fact that it's... Oh, well, yeah, no. I don't think... If that is a possibility, that's some high-level shit. That I don't think really anyone is capable of. Or at the very least, many people aren't capable of. I see that the stuff exists based on something real. Yeah. Fake-ass Dianetics, a little bit, yeah. Braxia's best cat? What'd she do? just threw yourself into a PTSD flashback and she came over and meowed at you and jumped up and rubbed your face with hers. Aww. Isn't biology just a construction of the laws of the universe? Oh shit. It's fucking November, man. Like, what the fuck are you assholes doing coming in here with, like, this deep thought stoner hypothesization shit? When I'm trying to write about monsters getting their groove on. Why base morality on that alone? Feels very human-centric. I don't know. It's kind of like... or maybe it's not, I don't know. It's just me following a random thought. But, it's kind of like the generalized assumption that immortality, although it sounds good, is inherently a curse. And it's like, well, how the fuck... What is that based on? That's based on our own assumptions being mortal. Knowing that, at least at this stage of the game, immortality is not something that can be achieved, therefore, there has to be a darker side to it that makes it unappealing, so that we don't all get incredibly butthurt because we can't have it. And also because, like, we can't fathom. We have no... We can guess, but we have no way of genuinely fathoming what living forever would be like. And at this stage of the game, we're the only, at least as far as we're aware of, we're the only higher level beings putting any thought into morality, so we have nothing else to compare it to or to base it off of aside from ourselves. Like, the only other animal that I know of that might be close to that level would be dolphins, and dolphin morality is no morality. Those motherfuckers are psychopaths. No, but I think what he's saying is the level of morality you apply to non-humans is the same, or at least based on the same principles as human morality. At least largely. I think. I'm just guessing. I'm just here to type words and occasionally spout random bullshit. That's my purpose here. String theory and quantum physics? Oh, sure. Why the fuck not, man? All to dictate pain, happiness, etc. are the basis of our moral system, all of them. What did you miss? We went from ethical theories to moral quandaries to... I briefly put forth the my belief that dolphins are psychopaths. Does the cat live or not? Oh shit, man. None of these are familiar concepts to you. Oh good, that's probably for the best, honestly. Yeah, I got stoner philosophy in here. And I'm like, come on, man, it's too deep into November for my brain to handle this shit. But by all means, continue, because it's fun. As long as everybody stays cool and doesn't resort to actually getting upset with one another, I am in favor of these wacky conversations. Let's see, the cat. You cannot confirm if the cat is dead or alive. Yeah, so it is simultaneously dead and alive at the same time. Is the cat even a cat at that point? We don't know. Until we observe the cat, we don't know. In that state of non-observance, that cat is nothing and everything. What if cat is Doge? Oh! That's a possibility I never considered. What if cat is Doge? Oh no. Oh dear, Cat Doge was a cartoon. It is true. That maybe that was the origination of Cat Dog. Cat Dog is at its core Schrodinger's cat. Which then introduces, now that we're observing it, we have all sorts of other impossible, horrifying observations and thoughts that we and questions. Like, how does cat dog poop? Define sin. Oh. I mean, yeah, that's gonna vary from, honestly, like, depending on the religion, and even beyond that, depending on the individual. Cat side hairball. I don't think that ball is made up primarily of hair. Get burned at the stake, fucker. Yeah, anything that is being expelled from either side of cat dog, there may be some hair in it, but it ain't primarily hair. Get burned at the stake? No, that would be a great, burning someone alive, strapped or impaled on a piece of sharp wood, is the lesser sin compared to burning a steak. I'm pretty sure the judicial system will agree with me on that point. Like you, oh, same, yeah. Char, a good char. I love a good char. Oh, strap you to a giant steak. Oh, I got you. But yeah, no, a good char on a steak, or hell, a good char on anything really. A burger, some hot dogs. Like, give me the char, baby. Liquor plate clean of all the blood after a steak. I think I've known people like that, yeah. Neffy might be one of those people. No? Okay. But you do like them bloody. Like I'm so in the middle on that because like, and I think I decided or determined that it was because a lot of the times the places I would get steak from, like, they ain't like 5-star Michelin restaurants, so like they don't really know what they're doing too well. So the only way you can get char or even hope to get char on your steak is if you request it well done. But if it's a place that knows how to cook steak properly and knows how to do the char without cooking the steak to shit, that's probably my preferred. Like a medium with char. If you've done that at the table. Have you med with some char? Yeah, yep, medium with char, yeah. I remember the first time I got asked, like, how I want, like, what stage of cooked I wanted my steak, and, like, I had no comprehension of what the fuck this meant. So I just went with medium because I'm like, it's in the middle. It's between the. I just want a steak. God damn it, cook it. It wasn't until many years later that I found an appreciation for char. Cow at the table and leave the room. Yeah, that was that Dennis Leary bit. Just bring a live cow over to the table. I'll carve off what I want and ride the rest home. That was a great bit. Don't get anything at the extreme end of cooking that's just asking for raw meat / charcoal. See, I'd prefer the charcoal, honestly. Thin steak cooked super crispy. I can see that. I can see that being nice. I like bacon for that matter. I like my bacon practically burnt. I like crunchy ass bacon. And the same thing with like fries. Like I like my fries to have a crunch to them. Like I don't think it was always that way, but like I've definitely found it appreciated because my granddad would be like that. He'd order hash browns and he would specifically tell the waitress like I want them well done, to the point that he told him like, look, the chef can burn the hash browns. It's okay. Like that's what I want, and I'm like, I get that. I get why he liked that now. Get a $50 ribeye steak in Cambridge once. You cried with every bite. Was it very good? It is when I cook my steak to well done. What? Best steak you've ever had? Nice. I've had some good like high quality steakhouse steaks before, and they're very good. Ruined every steak after it. I remember. I think I was at my friend's wedding, and I think that was the first time I got to try filet mignon, and it was like real like high quality filet mignon, and I was like, holy shit. Gotta get back to editing this shitty ass essay. You'll get it. Thanks for popping in. Breaking everyone's brain, you son of a bitch. Yeah, thanks for hopping in. You'll get through the essay. You'll get it. Get so happy when you get to turn your lights back on. Nice. Am I familiar with the British show Yes, Prime Minister? I think I've heard of it, but I've not seen it. The name sounds familiar. Which is sad because I growing up, I watched a hell of a lot of British shows. Salami Tactics? Alright. I'll see. I'll try to remember. Although, are you in the Discord? So I was gonna say, if you can find a clip of it and post it in the Discord, that would probably be the easiest way for me to check it out. But yeah, no, I grew up on a lot of Faulty Towers, a lot of Monty Python. Red Dwarf. I watched the fuck out of Red Dwarf growing up. Also sounds like a porno. I mean, I'm in favor of this. Discord's a time sink even more than Twitch. That's fair. That is totally fair. Oh wait, if you can put, you can toss a link right into chat. Like, I'm okay with people posting links as long as they clear it with me first and I know what it is they're posting. You'll find input in Discord? Okay. Or Neff can just take care of it. What do you call a fish without any eyes? A fish. Fish. Gotta learn Book Nook about some Lord of the Rings. You legit thought you were being trolled because even people who aren't insane usually know who or what Boromir is if he's referenced. Post of last video. Nice, thank you. Made her summarize the Lord of the Rings because she's seen it. She was just like, I don't know which one that is. So you made her just do a book report type summary. She was making shit up so bad. That sounds amazing. Booknook asked if everyone was still alive, and you said every bit of you, but the part that died when Boromir did, because you knew this one here in chat would catch it. And she's like, Boromir? Ho? Sean Ben? Sean Bon? Like, hell, I'm not even like super duper Lord of the Rings fan. I know Boromir. Because even pre Lord of the Rings, I was a huge Sean Bean fan. Oh shit. Wait, that ain't right. I missed one. Chaotic is the embodiment of what the what? not suffer Lord of the Rings ignorance in your server. Oh, okay, I can redeem some random horror trivia. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Yeah, here we go. Who fashioned scraps of human flesh into such items as bracelets, lampshades, chair seats, and waste paper baskets? That's some real world horror. Dahmer? No. Or at least that's not the answer given on the card. There are a few notable people that did this. IRL. All the movies have been made about this person. Buffalo Bill being one of the characters that was inspired by inspiration for Leatherface in part. Yeah, Ed Gein. Yep, it was Ed Gein. Was it Ed? Yeah, it was Ed. Fucking Edward. A true crime podcast would be so disappointed in you. Ah. Oh no. Hard to remember all the nutcases' names. Yeah. There's too damn many of them, honestly. Especially horrific and noteworthy, yeah. Insta call is... Oh, Insta recall. I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, something you know, like, without a shadow of doubt, you know it until somebody asks you what it is, and then it's like, fuck you. I don't know. I don't know. I've never even met anything that would have that knowledge. You like to make words up? I mean, yeah. It's fun. Isn't that why we get into writing? Because we're disillusioned with the words that already exist, and we want the ability and the authority to just make up more on our own, on a whim. You know, people that like get so offended about it, purity of the English language. Yeah, I feel like that's in line with the conversation we were having on Tuesday about the single double space bullshit. And like, here's the brass tacks, like, baseline of the English language, or language in general. They're all made up words. Every single word is a made up word. Every one of them. Problem with defending the purity of the English language is that English is about as pure as a crib house whore. You don't just borrow words. On occasion, English has pursued other languages down alleyways to beat them unconscious and rifle their pockets for new vocabulary. That's so good. That's so good. And yeah, every single word somebody made up. Like, isn't that also just generally the definition of like what a dead language is? Like, dead languages are languages that they're not making up any new words for them. Like, they've stopped making up new words for that language, so it's dead. Oh yeah, English is based on a bunch of different languages, yeah. And then just straight up stole from a bunch of different languages, yeah. And even if you go even further beyond that, like, it's like, why is anything called anything? It's because way back when, at some point, somebody decided to name it by making up a random assortment of sounds that they associated with one thing in particular. Like, what's that weird space over our heads that we can't touch? I guess it's the sky. I'm gonna call it the sky. You call it the sky too, and that way we have a common reference of what we're talking about when we say, what's that shit up there? But it could, the sky just as easily could have been called caboose if things worked out a little bit differently, and the person who identified sky the first time was like, it's a caboose. So at that point, words in general are like, they're valid if like people, if there's a general consensus of like what they mean and a general understanding. So that if I say something, you get like ain't. Remember all the growing up, ain't a word? Well, now it is. They finally acknowledged it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, dictionaries update all the time with new words. YOLO and yeet, yeah. Like, ain't a word. Like, yeah, but you know what I mean if I say I ain't doing that. You understand the definition of what ain't is. Therefore, ain't is a word. What is that shit up there? I don't know, man. It's a caboose. It's probably a caboose. I gotta use the bathroom. Or whatever anyone wants to call the bathroom. Place where the pee comes out. Cat. Imagine Woody from Toy Story exclaiming, "Reach for the caboose!" Don't have so loud when I came out. Where have you been? This is where you want to stay now. Not allowed to write anymore. It's completely relaxed in my arm right now. Like, yeah, okay, I'll do this. Oh, never mind. Go on. Oop. Certainly want to go over there because you get in trouble with it. You know what? I don't know. Oh ho ho. Can't even really see because it's very dark out there. Interested. Cat lapitis can no longer work. Yeah. Wait, cat lapitis. That's not a real word. But it is because I know exactly what the definition is based on reading it. Because I was just dealing with it. You didn't even see Braxy? Yeah, she blended into the shirt real well. She just had her head, little head poking up. Got like 3 more scenes at least to do in this chapter. God damn it. Name an urge to name future kitten Spaghetti. So you can call him her Sketty. There you go. Whew. Chaotica, do you have the I just finished a scene and suddenly I'm very tired reaction? Like you get to like a break point and it's like, yay, I did it, and then it's like, ah, oh, fuck, there's more. Spaghetti Griddle Jones. Yeah, I just finished the sentence nap time. Okay, yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah. That's basically, yeah. It's like, because you could break it down in any chunk you want, like a paragraph, a sentence, a word, but it's like a mental weightlifting, and then you get to the end of it, and you're like, okay, I'm done. But it's like all different, because like, I don't know, it's like my experience anyway, like if I'm in a scene, it's like, okay, there's a flow, there's a rhythm going, and everything like that, and then you get to the end of the scene, and you're like, alright, time to start the new scene, and it's like, alright, now I've got to feel my way around the scene to find, like, the seam to start tugging at. Like, okay, where do I start this, and how do I get back into the flow? 10 words at it. I'm working too hard. It do feel like that sometimes. Aggravated Assault Spaghetti Griddle Jones, aka Haggy or Scatty. There you go. It ain't a cat unless it's got 15,000 names. Even Gray, who I've tried to keep simply just Gray, she's had Potato, is one of her names. She was briefly Gray S. Fully. So even the one cat I've tried to persist with, she only has one simple ass name, and it's even simpler because it's literally the color of her fur. Even that hasn't been successful. You don't generally have a hard time getting into the next scene. You have a hard time staying in the work as a whole. Ah, too much in your head at any given time. Okay, that makes sense. See, my issue tends to be, or one of my issues tends to be I'll know what's gonna happen in the scene, and like there's usually a moment in the scene that I'm like excited to do, but it's usually deeper. Like you can't just start there without shit getting really confusing. So I'm like, I need to do the build up, and that's where I struggle. Where I'm like, okay, how do I introduce this in an entertaining fashion that flows well and is easy to understand, that leads me to the bits that are clearer in my head that I can have a lot of fun with. You misremembered? Uh-oh. Don't do that. Aggravated l'assault. Yeah, that's right. Tyra gave it a French flair. Fucking French flares. Being all flary and shit. Speaking of made up shit, Anne Rice says it's pronounced Lestat and not Lestat. His name is a French flair. I don't know if I got more words in me right now. Definitely a better day today than it was like Monday and Tuesday. Like 4,000 words or so. Let's see. Yeah, a little over 4,000. Couple splits. Yeah. More splits do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 more splits, or rather 10 more days worth of doing stuff. How many more words total do I need to do? About 16,000. Alright. Could chill out with some Graveyard Keeper? Maybe. Maybe, but I'm also kind of like, I just want to relax. Like, full on relax. Go hang out with some scary Gary Jerry. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll do Little Graveyard Keeper. Not a lot. I'm not gonna be playing all night. Maybe like an hour or two. Fuck typing with just your thumbs, yeah.